What's going on, y'all? Terrence the Therapist here. Thank y'all for tapping in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you know when these videos are about to drop. So I finally got the chance to watch White Men Can't Jump. Now, White Man Can't Jump is pretty much a spinoff of the 90s movie. I wanted to touch on a couple things in this movie, not particularly the whole entire movie. I'll let you guys know what I thought about the movie all the way to the end. So make sure you guys watch this full video if you want to hear about what I thought about the movie overall. So what I wanted to touch on in this video was how they threw and mixed in therapy in White Men Can't Jump, which I thought was very, very interesting. Jeremy, which is played by Jack Harlow, really was the one kind of focusing on like the therapeutic interventions. He was really heavy on meditation. He was also asking Kamal if he actually went to therapy. And what caught my eye in this scene was when he said, I've been going to therapy for the past 12 years and I pay this man $45 and he cuts my hair too. So when he said this, I was like, yeah, I know even for myself, Black men, we use Barber as our therapist. And it's funny that he mentioned it in this scene, in this video, because yeah, a lot of Black men will utilize barbers as their therapists. So as the movie kind of continues to unravel, you learn that Kamal, he was a huge, big time high school basketball player, but he had ran into some trouble. So what happened was he was having a really bad game during his senior year, and pretty much there was some hagglers in the crowd and, you know, talking about, oh, overrated and you suck and X, Y, and Z. And for an athlete such as his caliber, there was a lot of pressure on him. He had a lot of pressure from his dad, coaching him, telling him to get better. I remember there was a scene where he was like, look, your body's not tired, it's just your mind is weak. You know what I mean? So like his dad had a lot of pressure on him, even bought him like Escalade and things of that nature while he was in high school, because Kamal was a prospect to go to the NBA. Like he was the one to go to the NBA out of his family and out of the school, out of the community. Everybody was like, Kamal. But even fast forwarding to him in the present moment, which the movie takes place 10 years after that, you know, a lot of people knew who he was. A lot of people was like, hey, are you Kamal? Are you like, you know what I mean? Like who, like, are you so-and-so? Like, you know what I mean? Everybody knew who he was, and he was super embarrassed because he drove, he worked for an equivalent, it's called FTX, I believe, and it was like a FedEx, UPS company that delivered packages. So he delivered packages to some people recognize them and X, Y, and Z. But the part that got him in trouble, going back to what I was saying before, the part that got him in trouble really was when he jumped into the crowd and like Ron Artest somebody. He Ron Artest the haggler that was talking about him. If you guys seen the movie, you guys remember the scene. He went in there, he clocked him. He was like, bah! You know what I mean? And dude's nose is all bloody and it was just all bad. So like that night he got arrested. So that was pretty much the end of his high school career. Now you have Jeremy, which is played by Jack Harlow. He played college basketball and, you know, he was doing pretty well. Throughout the movie, you see that he had some knee injuries and, you know, all type of stuff that was going on with him. He was already on this like herbal healing, trying to take these stem cells and trying to like heal his body so his knees and his ACL and everything could be like all intact so he can keep playing ball. And this is something I don't feel like a lot of people don't speak about. Platforms such as I Am Athlete, they do an amazing job talking about mental health and how it impacts athletes. So if you think about Camille, if you guys seen it, or if you guys haven't seen it, his character was really going through some traumatic events, like some traumatic events, from like not being able to play ball anymore. At that time, his dad had got MS, his mom left the family. Like it was just a bunch of stuff going on. Like I was like, yeah, he's going through something. He's going through something, and him actually going through all this and not really able to process it. But it really landed him in the position that he was because those inner thoughts and those traumas that was unresolved, he was not able to like really overcome that, right? And the thing about Kamal was that he actually wasn't injured or anything like that. He wasn't like Jeremy's character, like he had a physical injury. So like it was mainly like his mental was injured. His mentality was injured more than anything. His mentality was gone. So if you think about it this way, like when he's talking about like, oh, I go to therapy, I go to my barber, like obviously like going to a barber is not therapy. You know, black man, I'm gonna tell you right now, going to your barber is a therapeutic process, but it's not therapy. It is a therapeutic process, but it's not therapy. All right. So next time you guys be like, oh, I'm in therapy, and nah, your barber is not your therapist. Your barber is not your therapist. All right. So don't try to run around and try to be like, oh, my barber's my therapist, or I've been in therapy for 12 years. Like, nah, you haven't, because that's not therapy. It's a therapeutic process. You know, it can help you relieve stress. You look good, feel good. Like, you know, black men, we hop out the chair like, ooh, like we about to run errands. You feel me? We about to run some errands. We about to hit the streets before anything. You know what I mean? We're going to look good for tonight and all that. You know what I mean? But that's not therapy, right? It's a look good, feel good, but it's not quote unquote therapy. So there was a lot that was going on with Camille. There was a lot of like processing, a lot of trauma, a lot of trying to recover from his trauma. Jack Harlow, Jeremy's character, was like phenomenal in trying to, you know, get him to like center himself, do some meditations. Deep breathing was always a huge thing in the movie. Like they always take a deep breath and like, you know, and then the other teammates were like, what are y'all doing? Like they're really trying to center themselves, because they start to recognize like how their emotions really, really play a huge role in their performance. Like them not being able to be grounded, them almost getting into a fight the first time they played the major game for like, I think it was for $2,500 leading up until winning the $500,000. So there was a lot of processing going on in that movie. I most definitely was like, yeah, like this has hit a lot of different points with mental health, not only with black men, but athletes as well too, because Jeremy's role, he was going through a lot of different things as well too. Like, you know, he was trying to get over his injuries. He was trying all these different things. And obviously he was the one meditating, you know, questioning about, hey, have you been to therapy and all that as well too. So it wasn't just like a one-sided thing. Like they were both going through their, you know, their issues pretty much. You know, they're going through their own issues. So this movie, I most definitely, you know, I felt that presence of mental health, that presence of like therapy in this movie. And, you know, if you guys haven't checked it out, I would recommend checking it out. Now, what I think of the movie overall, and mind you, this is a spinoff from the movie in the 90s, right? I like the little cameos they had. I liked how they mixed in like, you know, some old school characters. I like sometimes they had like different outfits that kind of, you know, was similar to the original. So I just feel like storyline wise, it could have done a lot better. So you see like, you know, from like when they played like the last game was like the, you know, for the $500,000, and it was against a bunch of random people. So they could have had the people they're having issues with throughout the movie, such as Jack Harlow had an issue with somebody else who's doing something similar to him. Old Boy and P Valley was in this. Like they could have had them on the team and like playing and, you know, shooting it out. But like the last scene in the movie was kind of like it wasn't exciting. It really wasn't exciting. But I will say, you know, out of the whole thing, I'd probably give it about maybe 6.5, 7 out of 10, just because of, you know, how the story moved in the movie. The mental health aspect, 10 out of 10. But I feel like in sequence, it was kind of like, what's going on? Where am I at in the movie? They did a couple flashbacks, but it wasn't really like leading up to like a, you know, an exciting moment. Like I didn't really get like, okay, this is like the moment in the movie. Like I'm waiting for the build up, the last game, and then they're done with the last game, and there's some more stuff that happens, and it's like, okay, where's the build up? You know what I mean? So I don't know if it was like the success story was like him actually playing for the Lakers, or the success story was like Tiana Taylor getting her own shot, Tiana Taylor played his wife. I don't know if it was, you know, Jack Harlow, Jeremy's character. halfway proposing, halfway not. Like she didn't say yes, so I didn't really get that. But overall, you know, I am a movie guy, so I will watch a movie and I will like kind of like critique a little bit more, especially like me looking through the lens and, you know, of different aspects and different parts of it. But hey, you know, some people really, really enjoyed it. I just give it a 6.5, 7 at the most out of 10, just because, again, I wasn't really catching on like, you know, the climax of the movie, I guess you could say. So that's my take on it. If you guys haven't watched it, again, I recommend you guys watch and make your own assessment. Just don't go based what I'm saying, because who am I? You know, I'm just like you. I have an opinion. You may have a different opinion. You may feel like this is the best movie in the world. You may be like, actually, Terrence, you gave it a little bit too much credit. You know what I mean? But I appreciate y'all tapping in. You guys don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you guys seen the movie, if you guys haven't seen the movie, just let me know, you know, where you guys stand, and like if you guys picked up on those mental health components as well too. All right, until next time, y'all take care. Peace.